or silent mode since we are all in virtual environment. Let's have a great meeting and a supportive environment. That's it from Sergeant at Arms. Please, over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi, for starting the meeting and laying out the ground rules. Hello and welcome, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Let me just close this room so that people in the next room working will not wake up. How's everyone doing today? Good. For the people online, let me tell you, there are 6 people aside from myself in the room right now, and we have Sankhya, Velavan, Souvik, Prithvish, he's in the master, I identified him, 5, and Chetna, and myself, Tanmay. Today, before we move forward with the meeting, let me tell you about what is Toastmasters. Toastmasters is a non-profit organization started in 1924 by a gentleman, Ralph C. Smedley, in YMCA, California. His objective was to provide a supportive environment, a platform which will enable the people to overcome their fear of public speaking, and in turn making leaders of the generation. And today, we are here. After 1924 to this today, we have 98 years have passed, and this organization is only growing. From across 140 countries and millions of members, today we are part of its chapter, Speakers Den Toastmasters Bengaluru. And Speakers Den also has a good history of 10 years. We started in 2012, and we recently celebrated our 10-year anniversary in the last month. Today, we are going with the meeting number 302. And with this, I would like to open the meeting with a bang. Let me get a gavel. And with the lack of a gavel, I'm going to use this remote. Hopefully, it will not break the TV. The meeting is started. Now, today's meeting, we have a very special theme. And the theme is friends. How many of you are familiar with the popular TV show Friends? Raise your hands. Almost everyone. Almost everyone. Okay, so we have a couple of folks who are not familiar, and for those, I am broadening the theme to the friends in our life and the lessons we can learn from them. So today's theme is going to be about the television show Friends, what we learn from it, and our real friends in our real life. Because no matter where your friends are, be they there in Athens, which is this room actually, not the room, or they are there online. The friends make a family that you make by your own choices. Now, to start with the meeting, and before I go on and on about this theme and my love for the show, because could I be any more wrong? Let me welcome our general evaluator of the day to introduce tag team. Okay, we will reach out to general evaluator in a while because she's still stuck in traffic. We will move towards the guest introduction. So maybe we can start with Gaurav. Gaurav, can you please introduce yourself in 30 seconds with the audience? Tell me about yourself. When was your first time as a Toastmaster? If this is your first time, and how did you get to know about this? Over to you, Gaurav.
Yep, sure. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to introduce myself. So my name is Gaurav Sharma. I'm based out in Whitefield, Bengaluru. About a Toastmaster, I was introduced the concept like few years before the pandemic, and I already attended one of the session in Gurgaon. Although it was quite far, and that time this hybrid mode was not possible, so I had to travel like 25 kilometers to join in. That's why actually I was not willing because the traveling time was quite more. But today, because of hybrid mode, we can join online from anywhere. So that's why I have joined. Thank you.
That's wonderful, Gaurav. A big round of applause.
Thank you.
I understand that Whitefield is like living in Pune, which Mansi could understand. It takes the same amount of time.
Yes, correct.
Now, next we also have Prithvish in the room. Prithvish, can you please come here and introduce yourself to the room and the Zoom room?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Prithvish Biswas. This is my second offline session with Speakers Den. I came here earlier for the Diwali and Dasara holidays. Then I took a break for some time, and now I'm back. offline sessions and looking forward to continue with Speakers Day. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Prithvish. It is nice seeing you again, coming again to this, and that means that we actually did something good last time. So good to have you back. And now let's talk about this theme a little bit. For those of you who have seen Friends once or multiple times, or constantly keep on watching the short videos on YouTube or Instagram, tell me what life lesson you have learned from Friends show.
I think it's like no matter what, like friends are always there to support you and celebrate with you.
Friends are always there to support you, especially in your worst moments when you are having some trouble. And right now I'm in some trouble outside the room, so just give me a minute. Please come in. We have other member joining in. Can you please introduce yourself to the room in 30 seconds?
5 seconds.
Okay. Tell me about yourself, your name and yourself, and how do you get to know about?
I'm not a new
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Pranav. I work as a product analyst in advertising company, and I'm from Belgaum. I'm here to improve my communication skill and public speaking. Thank you.
And how did you get to know about Speakers Den?
From online.
From which social media platform?
I forgot. Like.
Well, social media does wonders up to us. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Pranav. All right, we have another new guest joining us today. So we are talking about today's theme, which is friends, as in the show or the friends in our life. And the question right now in the room is, what are the life lessons that we can learn from friends? And Sanjay just mentioned that we learn that friends are always there for you, especially when we are doing some stupid things and they're a partner in crimes, or when we fell down and they laugh with their hearts out and then they help us out. What other lessons do you think we can learn from it? Anyone in the room as well on the Zoom room?
As Toastmaster Sanjay told, right? No matter what the situation is, friends are always there in the bad times also to support, as well as to laugh, to pull your leg when you are like really sad. They will make you laugh. So that is one support we get from friends.
Definitely. Thank you, Toastmaster Swati. Now, I'm just going to ask another question before we are moving forward with the meeting. Who is your favorite Friends character from the show? For those who are familiar with this show,
for me, it's actually all the characters.
you have to choose one. That's the thing.
I love Joey.
Chandler.
It was really funny.
So
Joey.
you don't share your food and you are not good at advice, but can I interest in a sarcastic comment? Anyway, we have Joey, we have Chandler, one for each. No votes for the other four. Rachel, I can see Sankhya's face blushing up while saying Rachel. Well, Jennifer Aniston does have my heart as well. Anyone else? Hi.
Yes, Ross.
You are into dinosaurs then. So what about you, Gaurav?
Yeah, it's a long back. I watched the show. If I'm not able to recall the character, but I feel that all are funny.
Gaurav is taking the diplomatic approach. I'm not going to choose.
Yeah, better actually. All are good.
Yes, definitely. I agree. And I believe this is a show that we can rewatch anytime we are stuck with a lot of workload and want to take some break or just want to relive some happy moments. And especially it goes really well if you have pizza. All right. So meanwhile our G comes in. Sankhya, I would like you to fill in for the G and introduce the tag team. Sure. Sankhya, please.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And my name is Toastmaster Shanko, and I'll be filling up the general evaluator. The general evaluator will be Toastmaster Sonal, and she is on the way. So, as a general evaluator, the role is that I will be filling up, watching the entire meeting end to end, which means that what went well, what could have been improved, and at the end, we'll come back and give a feedback on the entire session. Now, to help me out, I have a team of 3 musketeers, and that's popularly known as the tag team. Now, with that, let me ask the first person who is the timer of the day, Toastmaster Rakesh. Toastmaster Rakesh, please state your objective as a timer.
Yeah. Thank you, Sankhya. I will be the timer for the day, and I'll be looking at the how much time you speak, and there's a limit for the time. And for the prepared speech, we have 5 minutes minimum and maximum of 7 minutes. And after that, there's a half a second, 30 seconds of grace period. And for table topics, we have minimum 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. And for the evaluator speak, we have a minimum of 2 minutes and maximum of 3 minutes. So let me demo how I'm showing the flag. So at the minimum time, that's for example for a prepared speech 5 minutes, I'll be showing the red flag like this, and in between half of the session is over, then I'll be showing the yellow flag, and at the maximum time I'll be showing the sorry, it is like initially for the minimum I'll be showing the green flag, and then the yellow flag, and finally the red flag at the maximum time. After that, there will be a 30-second of grace period. Afterwards, the person will be disqualified from the ratings. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rakesh. A round of applause for Toastmaster Rakesh. And moving on, our next musketeer is the up counter. And for that, let me welcome Toastmaster Sanjay on the virtual stage.
Yeah, thank you, Sanghu. Good morning, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and the guests. So today, as an R counter, I'll be tracking all the crutch words and fillers which hinders our speech while we are speaking, such as mm, and also we'll be tracking repeated usage of words such as and, of, so, that, this, and like if there are any other words. And then later on, I'll be presenting my report when called upon by our general elevator Sankhya. So yeah, that is what my rules for today. Over to you, Sankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanjay. Round of applause for Toastmaster Sanjay. And the third musketeer role is such that I am always, in an afraid zone or a fear zone since my childhood. And that's the grammarian role. Now, to welcome someone in the grammarian, let me welcome Toastmaster Villavan, the physical stage.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. As a grammarian, my responsibility is to pay close attention to all the speakers listening to their language usage. I'll also take note of any misuse of English language or any outstanding usage of words, thoughts, saying, etc. As a grammarian, it's my responsibility to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is euphoric, meaning an intense feeling of happiness or excitement. So each speaker is encouraged to use the word in their speeches. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Villavan. Great. Now, with that, as a general evaluator, we'll be coming back to the meeting towards the end of the meeting. And now let me hand over back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Tanman.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya, for introducing the G role and the tag team. And now, let me ask you one question. If our timer could be any one character from Friends, which one it would be? What do you think?
Monica.
Monica, right? That's what I exactly thought. Anyone else? Or everyone agrees on Monica for timer? And what about our grammarian? Who could it be? Ross, right? Because he He's the one who gave the example of there is an apostrophe in you are when they were talking about they were on a break. But we are not on a break, and we are shortly resuming our next section of the meeting. And now we also have our original G in the room. So may I request Sonal to please come and introduce yourself.
And introduce my
Just yourself. The tag team is done.
Oh. Okay, as a general evaluator, I will be evaluating the meeting from the time I stepped in, which is just right now, to the end of the meeting. Tag team is already introduced. Back to you.
Thank you. Now I request you to take a deep breath because you are already running out of breath. All right. So for the meeting will be divided into 3 parts, which would be prepared speeches, impromptu speaking, that is table topics, and the feedback section, because feedbacks are very important. And in Toastmasters, at Speakers Den, we try to request everyone to take the feedbacks in a constructive manner and request everyone who is giving the feedback to be critical yet in a supportive manner. With this, let me start with the first session, that is prepared speeches. And today we have not 1 but 2 prepared speeches with the people who you are seeing in the window. So before I move on to the first speaker, let me introduce the first evaluator. May I request Toastmaster Swati to lay out the speech objectives for the speaker 1. Toastmaster Swati, over to you.
Audio video check.
Audio video check. I can hear you.
Okay. So Toastmaster Chetna is giving her L1 P3 speech, and the speech title is Choices and Beliefs. The purpose of the speech is she is to practice using the vocal variety or body language to enhance the speech. So timer, please note her speech timing will be 5 to 6 minutes. Over to you.
Thank you, Swati. And just taking a small interruption. Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi, for joining. I know you have to catch up your work, so thanks for joining in. For everyone else, I would request you to please stay till the end of the meeting for a wonderful sweet surprise, which will be more applicable for the people in the room as well. So now, our first speaker, Toastmaster Chetna. Choices and beliefs. Choice and beliefs, Toastmaster Chetna. Make the room a little bit.
Most of us, at some point in time, we would have surely faced a question, and which makes us the center of attraction amongst all our relatives and also our close friends. But the question is not a simple one. It's the golden buzzer round question. And the question is, when are you getting married? My mother, she always wanted to find a life partner for myself. But because I didn't find one fine day, she comes to me and tells me, Chetna, since you haven't found a life partner for yourself, I am registering your name on a matrimonial site, and I'm going to choose a profile for yourself, which matches yours. I was feeling really nervous and tense, and I had mixed feelings. I never knew that the guys in the matrimonial sites could be so interesting and fascinating with, different characters and also peculiar names. And coming to the common names, I have listened to names such as Ganesh, Ram, etc. But there was one common name which I was never aware of, and it was written as Later. Yeah, you heard it right. Later. That too with no pits at all. I told my mother I really appreciate the confidence of these guys because they think that girls will send them interest without even looking at them. Thus, my journey began. There were some guys who had expressed interest through matrimonial sites and they contacted my mother. In most cases, it was the parents of the guys who had contacted my mother. So here comes my story. The story number 1, which I'm going to tell you is, this particular boy, he was an engineer and he also completed his MBA from Symbiosis. His profile was quite interesting. And finally, my mother and his parents, they spoke to each other and They gave their son's number to my mom, and my mom had given my number to them. In the evening, when my mother shared his number, I was so curious. I immediately checked his number in the Truecaller, and I found a strange name appearing in the Truecaller. So, I informed that to my mom. My mom told me to wait till the next day. The next day, I was being told by my mother that the number given to me had a mistake. The last 2 digits of the number were interchanged. And this was informed by the guy's father. Finally, the guy had texted me, and we agreed on a time to speak in the evening. In the evening, as instructed by my mother, Chetna, wait till the guy calls. I was waiting, but the wall clock was winking at me and telling me, Chetna, it's past an hour. Finally, after an hour, he calls me. The minute I pick the call, the first thing he tells me is, I have no questions to ask. If you have any, you can go ahead. The first thought which came to my mind was, why did he even call me when he was never interested? But somehow, due to the impromptu speaking skills which I had learned over past months in Toastmasters, I managed to talk to him for half an hour. That too only about job, because I didn't know what to talk to him as he was so disinterested. Now comes my second story. Here, the guy, by qualification, he had done his master's in computer applications. And he was a network engineer by profession. But there were a lot of differences between our thinking and also our interests. The guy was, he was more of outdoor person and he was passionate about trekking. And he used to travel almost all the weekends, whereas I'm a homely person and I love to stay at home more than traveling. This time, I thought it's better to make things clear right from the beginning. So I told him, I require minimum 1 year period of time to get to know you better. The guy asks me about my job, and then I tell him, yeah, since I'm into finance, my job is so hectic, and especially during the month ends. It's really hectic, and there is no calculation on the number of hours we work for. The next minute, he asks me a question. Do you have any loan? And how much are you earning as a salary? I replied to him telling that I have no loan. And with regards to salary, I'm earning enough for my own self so that I don't have to depend on others. After a couple of days, his father gives the feedback to my mother. This cannot be taken forward due to 2 reasons. One is because of the reason that your daughter had asked for 1 year time. And the second is, your daughter does not know trekking. Now coming to my third story. The thing was, this guy sounded quite impressive. And he completed his engineer, and by profession, he was a data scientist. And we both spoke a couple of times. He contacted my mother and we spoke a couple of times. He sounded quite impressive to both me and my mother. One fine day, me and my mother, we requested him to come on a video call. The next day, he disappears all of a sudden. For me, it seemed like some ghost which disappeared all of a sudden. After all these experiences, I told my mother, request you to stop the renewals. My mother too told me to find my own life partner and let her know once I find one. I would like to advise here to everyone that we only have one life and never compromise on your choices and beliefs so that you do not regret. Thank you.
It was a euphoric revelation of matrimony 101s. And I can see Ashish was like, oh yes. Yeah. Because he is the latest one to get married in the group.
No, actually, my story is quite similar.
So, guys, whoever is on matrimony, and I believe Solvik is taking notes right now.
He's changing his name from later.
Well, this was one session. this was definitely one session that my mother would have loved to hear about. Because when I went home for Diwali, this was a constant thing that I heard for 3 weeks. And while they were telling me, haven't you found anyone here? And I was like, I was hopeful that you will find someone. So I guess we should soon start a not just a networking Toastmaster, we should also start a matrimony Toastmaster. All right, now moving on towards the next speaker, I would like to call upon our second evaluator, who is none other than the person you already met, Toastmaster Sankhya. Toastmaster Sankhya.
Now, I'll be the evaluator for the second speaker. And before this, so the second speaker will be attending the L1 P2 from the presentation mastery of the pathways. The objective of this speech is to learn or review the basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. So I wish all the speaker the very best. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. Now, our next speaker is someone who has a movie named after him, The Life of Pi. And for that, I would like to welcome our speaker to Toastmaster Srinivas Pai. Run towards the problem, run towards the problem, Toastmaster Srinivas Pai. Oh, okay. You can take a chair if you want. You will just adjust the camera.
Yeah.
Yes, back.
Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. The topic today is run towards your problem. So what does it mean by running towards your problem? My problem was public speaking. But first, you need to understand how I got this problem. What happened was, but before that, let me just introduce you what public speaking is, right? Before what my problem is. So public speaking is an oration, basically speaking in front of live audience like I'm doing right now. The great Chinese philosopher once said, a good speech is a speech if it impacts the life of even just one person in the audience. My journey with public speaking started at the young age of 10 when I saw my sister delivering her first speech on a stage. It was an inter-school competition and she won it. And she brought an award home and I felt, wow. Fast forward age 12, guess where I went to get my first speech written? From my sister. And I still remember the topic today. It was about, will computers replace humanity? You can imagine how old I was if that is the speech title. And she wrote the speech for me. I went in front of my teachers and students at the age of 12 and I delivered it to perfection. My teacher was clapping and I felt a tinge of confidence rising within me. Wow, I've delivered my first speech. I was the go-to guy to deliver speeches. Maybe it's Independence Day, maybe it's Republic Day. I remember an example. On an Independence Day, I got up on the stage and I suddenly started my speech. Today marks the 58th year of independence, and we stand today on the 15th August of 1957. And everyone was looking at me and thinking, that was the only point you were supposed to get right. But I didn't flinch because I had memorized every line, so I didn't want to miss the next line, so I went. And that was a euphoric moment for me because I was so happy delivering those speeches. But my parents thought, this guy is getting distracted. He's not concentrating on academics. So they never put me in any classes or furthered the skill. So again, for the 5 years, I completely left public speaking. I never got up on a stage. I never stood up and I focused on my academics. Fast forward age 20, in my engineering class, I had a project I had to present. I remember the subject, material science. And I got up on the stage and I suddenly felt nervous. My face started to turn a little red, but I didn't mind. I just continued because my friends were giggling. They were all my friends. They were, you know, how engineering is. Fast forward age 25, my very senior colleague suddenly drops out of a client presentation. It was just not one client, there were like 100 to 150 people. And me and my office colleague said, oh, this is a very big topic and he's dropping out. Let's do one thing. From slide 1 to 10, you do 5. Slide 10 to 20, I'll take. We both go on stage. I said, fine, cool. And I start. And I got up on the stage. I finished my slide 1. I introduced myself. On slide 2, I don't know what happened. I froze. My heart was almost coming out of my mouth. I just couldn't speak. My heart was beating so fast. I look at my colleague, he's looking at me. I look at the audience is looking at me. No one knows what's next. I am not able to speak one word. And that's when I realized I had screwed that up. And my colleague, even though he had not prepared for slide 1 to 10, took over from me and started presenting from slide 2. And the worst part was I had to stand there all this time looking at that guy presenting. I couldn't even get off the stage. This was a major problem. And what I should have done was, I should have ran towards the problem and found a solution. But what I did was, I ran farther away from it. I ran in the opposite direction because I didn't want to face it. And for the next 5 years, I said, no more public speaking. I said, I'm not going to be on any stage. Every time in the office, an opportunity presented itself, I nominated my colleague's name. I nominated my reportee's name, but I never went. I called in sick, but I never took up that opportunity. It went to the extent where I could not even go on a stage with my friends, with my colleagues. I had nothing to deliver, but still I was nervous just to go on a stage. What happened was me running away from it multiplied those fears 1,000 times. It became from bad to worse until one day, 6 months back, I realized what happened to that kid who was on the stage giving Independence Day speeches and Republic Day speeches. What happened to that kid? And I realized I had not faced my problem. So I decided every opportunity which comes on my way, last 6 months, I said, it doesn't matter how horribly I perform, I'm going to take it. I'm going to join Toastmasters. I'm going to do whatever is possible for me to face my problems. So, audience, I want to summarize by saying, it doesn't matter what your problem is. Your problem may be public speaking or anything else. Don't run away from it. Run towards your problem, so you will be finally able to diminish your fears and face it head on. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster 5. That was a wonderful speech. And the moment you said to run towards your problem, I thought I am the problem. So this concludes our session number 1, that is the prepared speeches. And before we move on to the second session, the TTM, table topics, or the impromptu speaking, I would like to ask one question. Let's take one of the friend's character, and I'm going to go with Chandler because he's my idol. What are the life lessons that we can learn from Chandler? Anyone? First come, first serve.
That he is a good spouse.
Be a good spouse. And
Take everything in a sarcastic way.
be happy no matter what. And if you are ever in trouble, try to make the best out of it. Like he was caught up with a Jill Godeker in the ATM vestibule. Anything else? Be a good
Try to
brother.
laugh at your situations, or like maybe try to like laugh or joke around your problems that you're facing.
Yes, try to make a joke out of your problems, because once you laugh at your problems are just a joke. And yeah, sometimes I do that after looking at the mirror and realize I am the problem. And we also learned that dance like no one is watching, because that's what he does. So be confident about whatever you are doing. Be so good, be so damn good that you don't care about what everyone else thinks about you. And if someone tries to make fun of you, Just turn the situation around, laugh with them. Because the life is serious anyways. If to quote Joker, why so serious? So have fun. Now, starting with the second section, that is the impromptu speaking, the table topics. I would like to request our table topics master, Toastmaster Sobin, who was taking notes on matrimony. Please
Well, good morning, everyone. All my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. It is a neurotic feeling to be the table topic master of today's meeting. For all of you who are joining for the first time, table topic session is kind of an impromptu speaking session where the table topic master, which is me for today's meeting, will be giving you a topic and you will be having 10 seconds to think about it. And then you have to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and maximum of 2 minutes. Also, you'll be having 30 seconds of buffer timing where you need to conclude your speech. So are we ready?
Yes.
Yes. So I request everyone to nominate themselves. If nobody nominates, then I'll be choosing. So who wants to come first? Ashish. Yay!
Yay!
The topic for you is there is a very famous dialogue of Three Idiots कि अगर दोस्त फेल होता है तो बुरा लगता है, but दोस्त अगर टॉप कर जाए तो और बुरा लगता है. What is your take on that?
गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। दोस्त अगर फेल हो जाता है तो बुरा लगता है और
अगर दोस्त टॉप कर जाए तो
और ट्रांसलेट
और वही दोस्त टॉप कर जाता है तो और बुरा लगता है। So our friend Pai told like how he started in his journey in public speaking. Similarly, I also started my public speaking skills at class 5. That incident happened how my colleague and my best friend, I was standing first in the class and he was second, but I was not nominating myself in any of the competitions. So what happened one day, he was in a competition and he won the first prize. But the thing was that the first prize amount was 500 and the second prize, the person who stood second, his prize amount was 700. I asked, how did that happen? Then he told me, first you should participate in the competition, then you can say all these things. Then only that will suit you. Then I realized I am nothing in front of my friend, because when my friend is succeeding more, I am getting jealous. So I thought I will participate in the competition. And as you started speaking in Republic Day, Independence Day, my speaking journey also started on 15th August. The speech event. And the topic was related to Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. I spoke for around 8 to 10 minutes, and fortunately I won the first prize. That was a euphoric moment for me. But when I came home, I told my parents, "Hila Alana," but no one believed me because that was my first competition, and how could I win the first prize? Then because that was related to the 15th August event, that prize would be given in that Independence Day, the stage means where everyone will be there, and it will be from the collector. The collector will give you the prize. But when I collected the prize from them, then my parents believed. After that, I realized that I did something that my friend also did. After that, I did not feel jealous. I feel like if he is doing something, let me motivate from that person, that incident, and move myself one step ahead. That's all.
Thank you so much. Let's have someone from the online crowd. Anyone would like to nominate themselves?
Yes, I would like to talk.
Yeah, sure. So your topic would be, how is friendship different in school, college, and in corporate?
Okay. Yes. Yep. That's an interesting topic. What I would say, when actually I was in childhood, I was not aware about the friendship meaning, right? So that time there was no competition. Okay, only the fun and playing part of it. Okay, but while we were going to like college time, both they were still like we were having more fun, but the competition was also there because we wanted to achieve our objective. Like I did my engineering from a University of Rajasthan, but during the time, like in first to second year, I felt I was lacking behind in the studies, so I have to I have to catch my friends, right? So I did a lot of hard work there. So that time, fun and everything was there, but it was a balanced competition. But yes, the corporate life is completely different. Okay, so most of the time you are competing, although like the same statement, when your friends are doing good, you might feel bad sometimes. So in the corporate job, I was doing good, but sometimes if I'm not able to achieve my targets, I was not getting good CTC, and if I start comparing with my friends, so it felt me bad. But at the same time, I took it in the good note, and I worked hard. And it during in that organization, if it's not working well, so I changed the organization, or probably I lost my doing better and good for my friends. But still, we want to keep in touch. We are a social animal, and we always want to grow with friends. That's how it is. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights. Now I can see Toastmaster Swati raising her hand. So your topic would be friend in need is a friend indeed.
Okay, friend is in need is a friend indeed. That's an amazing topic. And it always reminds me of my best friend. She's my school friend. Her name is Varsha. And whenever, be it any situation, I am happy or sad, or maybe I need to go somewhere, I used to always depend on her. And even now, whenever I'm feeling down or she's feeling down, she will always call me. So no matter what, even if we stay far, our hearts are closer, right? So that's why we always have this quote, a friend in need is a friend indeed. So we all should have one such friend. You can always go to them. They are like your mirror. You can always depend on them. You can say whatever you feel, right? So everyone should have that kind of friend. And now talking about my kid, because she is growing up, she's 7 years old. So I always tell her, because she has lots of friends and she will be like having those fights. But I always tell her that it's this time where you will develop that friendship, which will be lifelong, right? So from our childhood, we have that kind of friendship, and you should not think at this point of time that, okay, you are not, she's not my friend or something like that. But later, they will only those person where you will always depend, and you will feel that we can always go around with them, right? So yeah, that's how I want to conclude my speech topic.
I must say, one is lucky if you have friend from a school, because they're always there to rely upon. Now I can see Toastmaster Duman raising his hand. So
Yes.
your topic is any embarrassing moments with friends.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. Embarrassing moment with friends. Surely there was. I think there was a time when we had gone. Actually, this one is not so embarrassing, but still, I will. This is the one I remember right now. We went to watch a movie, and while we went before the movie, we were eating dinner at the food court in the mall, and we were speaking about someone else whom we should have called for the movie. And then he mentioned the name of some girl who I was used to like at that time. And uh, and I thought that he said that she was also coming. So I asked him like, oh, she's coming also. And my face probably revealed that there was some interest. And then I was like, shit. Yeah. And yeah, that is all.
A big round of applause. Thank you, Toastmaster Duman, for request Toastmaster Venkatesh to take up a topic.
Am I audible, sorry?
Yes, you're audible. So your topic is what, according to you, why friends are important in life?
Thank you, Savik, for beautiful topics you have given me. I will share my personal incident. Um, when uh, when I was in 8th class, one of my friends, you have remembered Faisal Ali. You have remembered no Faisal Ali.
Yes, I have.
Then actually he wants to become in topper in class 8th. So in half yearly exams, yeah, he is good in all the subject, but is not good in maths. So he has scored good marks in all the subject. And when half yearly exam concluded, and after 2 or 3 days, the teacher started distributing papers, and the next day all the papers are shown. But before lunch period, he is calculating his marks and all the group marks. And before then, he became the topper of the boys. First and second is from girls section, and then I thought I will calculate my marks. Then when I in during lunch period I calculated my marks. I got 2 or 3 marks more than him, and I said to him that I have got more marks than you. Then he again checked my marks. Then he got, yeah, truly I became 2 or 3 marks ahead of him. So then he got little angry with me, but with gradual of time we became again friends, and we started yeah, learning from each other. Thank you, sorry.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkatesh, for sharing the unique moment of school. I can see Toastmaster Pasha raising his hand. Is it possible for you to come on camera?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah. So for you, the topic is friends that travel together stays together.
Sorry, can you please repeat that? I could not get.
Friends that travel together stays together.
Yeah, of course. What is life without friends, isn't it? We all require somebody in our life to guide us to the right path, to tell what is good and what is wrong, to take us to the right track. Without friends, I think life is impossible. I have come across with many of people who leave their families, come to a different place and work. You know, when I talk to them about their family, all that I could hear from them is, my friends are my family. So I believe friend is the second part of family instead. I wanted to share an instance where I was a flunk in a subject when I was studying my PUC, and later I was working with a provision store, and all of a sudden I had a chance to meet one of my schoolmate who was doing his graduation. When I met him, he said, like, what is this? Why you were studying so well? What happened to your career? I said, I have no interest to move on with my studies, as I wanted to do a job. Then later on, he said, he insisted me with a good positive feelings and kind of stuff where you have to study. When you study, that is when people will recognize you, that is when you will get respect, that is when you will build respect in your family. A lot of positive things which he gave to me. I took that positiveness in my mind, and I tapped myself and said, why not? Why should I not study? When somebody is pushing me towards success, why should I not go and take? Why should I not show the interest? And that is when I reapplied for the exams, and then I completed my graduation. After completing my graduation, that is when I got a good job. So he is a friend whom I would say that I'll never forget in my life. His name is Arun Kumar, and he is like a very good friend of mine. And recently he got married 2 weeks back, and I had been to his marriage. So that is something which provokes me whenever I think of friendship. And not only he, there are many other friends who motivate me with the good thoughts, and they are supportive as my family members. So that's my take on the topic, and thank you to you, table topic master.
To motivate you to become the best version of yourself. Can I request someone from the offline crowd?
You can call him.
You want to get Sure. So your topic would be any happiest moment with friends.
So thank you for giving me this opportunity. Well, if I think about happiest moment with my friends, there has been many moments. It's kind of difficult to pick and choose one, but I've tried to do. One of the happiest moments was when I was staying abroad, and what happened is we went out to rent a car, and at that time our budget was very limited, and we had only some few money. We did not have enough to spend. Suddenly, we found a very good deal on a convertible car, and me and my friend we were fighting on who is going to drive it. So we rented out the car, and my friend drove. And then we suddenly we were a group of 4 or 5 friends, and then we decided in the middle of the night to go on a trip to Florida, which was further down south, and it would be a overnight journey of around 5 or 6 hours. So we just hopped on the car. We took up some directions from the internet, and we started. And so it was going on a convertible car and driving through the middle of the night. And it was a very, you can say, one of the most euphoric moments, because I've never driven a convertible before in my life. And driving in the middle of the night with the wind blowing at 70 miles an hour. So it was a very extraordinary moment. So apart from all the mischievous things that I had done with my group of friends, but this was very memorable because of that feeling that I had, and it's very rare I get that feeling nowadays. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I wish that we all are friends and we must be having all our good moments, and when after 10 years when we look at them, we'll be having a Europic feeling. So can I request you to come up? So your topic would be one quality that is required to be a good best friend of someone else.
Okay. That's an interesting topic. When after the graduating, right, I was preparing for the interviews, and like there is always one questions that what's your strength and what's the weaknesses, and some people might say that you know the what's your strength and your weakness, so you can ask parents or like someone. But one of my professor told me that like you have to ask your best friend what is his what's your strength and weaknesses. So when he is the only person who is going to be without any return give you the perfect feedback. So my friend, his name is Nikhil. He gives me, you're not good at communication. You need to improve on communication, and you are good at aptitude. So you go for aptitude and technical questions. So that is the important thing about the best friendship. So he knows what is your weaknesses and strengths. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can see Dr. Pasha on screen.
One quality about best friend is don't talk for the same girl.
That's not the quality, that's the rule.
I can see Dr. Pasha on screen. So are you ready for the topic?
Yes, sir.
So your topic would be, can your parents be your best friend?
Yes, absolutely yes. So, friend, to me, friendship means true relation, honest relation. Honest relation means any relation which has truthfulness, honesty, integrity, loyalty. These qualities describes the relationship of friendship. So our parents are, though they have all these qualities, our parents are truthful with us. Our parents are all with us. So parents are our best friends. So one thing. Second thing is, so whenever you are in a relationship, whether it is your friend or your sister or anybody, if you feel happy, content, uh, relaxed, and peaceful with them, that means it is a true. If you feel euphoric, euphoric means it is a true relationship, means it is a true you are in being with a with, so you are surrounding with a good relationship. Okay, so this is what I want to say. That thing is one more thing is, the this friendship is builds on the foundation of true love, unconditional love. This is the one relationship which builds on unconditional love. It is a purest relationship. So over to you, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Pasha rightly said that friends have all the qualities to be a good friend. They don't judge you, they always support you. Can I request Toastmaster Pai?
Yeah.
So your topic is, if not human beings, what else can be a good friend?
I think the most loyal being an animal is dog. You were asking before, what is the quality which you expect from a friend, right?
Be a dog.
Be loyal as a dog. So I would say a dog is an animal which can be a close friend. This is a trend we are also seeing in the United States and other countries, because those people have no friends nowadays. I visited a lot of homes, they just have a dog, they have some have 2 dogs, 3 dogs, and they have so close with the dogs, they talk to dogs, and it's become a part of the family. The dog sits on a table and eats food with them. So that's how the world is moving towards. So I would say yes, a dog can replace a friend probably, but still I would say the closest people who will actually relate to us are other human beings. So that's what I wanted to say, and I have the privilege of having such great friends across my life. There were so many euphoric moments and I have really enjoyed, but yes, the closest after human being may be a dog. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pai. Can I request Toastmaster Chetna? So your topic would be, can people from opposite gender could be a good best friend?
Yeah, I do have many friends who are many of my colleagues indeed. Like whenever I'm in trouble or whenever any office related stress where I can connect with. Being opposite gender, yeah, you can be friends as far as they are understanding and they're able to understand your temperament and they're able to understand what is it that is in your mind. So I have a colleague of mine, yeah, he always tries to encourage me in every which way, but the unfortunate part is what he says he doesn't follow, and I keep getting furious with him because of that. But many a times, he keeps telling me, Chetna, why don't you do this course? Why don't you do that one? Why don't you learn that part of finance so that you grow in your career? Why don't you look for something better? And all that, he keeps encouraging me. And I always feel that I'm open to discuss anything with him. And he never restricts me in what I have to tell him, and he always understands. And he's also not just to me, my mom too. He's close to my mom too. So he's more of my family member as well, as I can connect with him. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, I can completely understand you because even I have so many good female best friends.
That's where the notes will come in handy.
Toastmaster Sunil, would you like to?
I think you can give it to somebody else.
Shankar is there.
Toastmaster Shankar, you are there.
Guest.
Guest.
Yeah, I'm there.
So yeah, hi. Is it possible for you to turn on your?
If I switch on the video, the voice will break this one.
Okay, no
Sorry for that.
No worries.
Yeah.
So your topic is what is the most important thing that you see while choosing your friend?
That's an interesting topic, Toastmaster. The important thing that I would look from the opposite person I'm choosing as a friend is first thing is honesty. The second thing is he should be a confidential person. So a friend is a person with whom I can share my many of the things like my personal things, and so whatever the things happening in my life, so I would like to share with my friends. So you should be a kind of person that you should not reveal anything to any other friends or to any other person. So you should be more confidential, and you should be more honesty. And one more thing, you should be like a kind-hearted. So you should be ready to help in any situation. So these are the qualities I would like to look. I choose a friend. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Shankar, for sharing your views. Can I request anyone from the group? So your topic is friends should be like books, few but hand selected.
Friends should be like books, few but hand selected. So what according to me, what this means is friends, good friends are like books where you learn something good from them. I mean, a lot of times books teach you a lot of lessons and you can get a lot of insights from books. Similarly, good friends are like books who will guide you and you can rely on them for a lot of things like advice, such things. And when you pick friends like a good book, you can be sure that in your life, like they can help you in many ways. So that's what I feel this thing is. Thank you.
Can I request our timer to come up now? Toastmaster Rakesh.
Yes, sir.
So your topic is how do you think the friendship at your generation is different from your child generation? Like, what is the difference?
Okay, good morning all. So the childhood in friends in our generation, I mean old generations. Sorry, what topic? What is it? Okay.
So your topic is how do you think that friendship has changed after coming social media in your generation?
Good morning all. Yeah, so when we were young at my generation, so it was like mostly the school friends were there during the school times, and then we had evening time where we go for we had neighborhood friends who we used to have play a lot in the evening, and that's what. And whenever any friend, so according to my experience, when our engineering college was over and we dispersed, and all of our friends went to try for a job on different places, and we couldn't meet after that. After many years, after the coming of the Orkut and Facebook, only we could gather again, and then we had a lot of get-togethers and all. So now the friendship is like instant or on mobile, and you don't need to be in a nearby place for chatting or in sharing anything or having fun. You can have a mobile on your phone, and then you can chat with your friends, and then whatever we wish, we can make it true now, like whatever we want, because we have everything in online. So even if we want to go to any party, make or organize a party and all, we can invite our friends through online, call, and then we can purchase whatever needed and all, everything we can purchase and organize everything together in one even though we are in distant place, together in the online we can do everything, and then we can meet someplace physically to have a more fun and all. So earlier it was not possible. We had to travel and come to one place. Then only we could have a fun. So that was a difference I feel in the friendship. Now it's more of a instant gratification rather than earlier we had to work a lot to have fun with friends. Thank you.
Toastmaster Akhilesh. Can I request Toastmaster Sanjay to take up the topic?
Yeah, sure.
Can you share any one incident where you have helped your friend to achieve something?
Sure, sure. Yeah, so I think it's an interesting topic, and that is why like friends are there for to help each other, right? And I remember like I used to be like a studious student like when I was in say grade 9. So then, but I was also kind of strict with them, and in a way that I wanted to help them, but not in cheating. So people used to come before the exam and they used to say that, "Oh, I'm sitting behind you, and can you like just show me your notebook?" So I said like, "No, no, we have enough time. Like, why don't you just let me help you understand the topic, or like let me help you understand the concept, so that you can actually do more than just like cheating." So yeah, I think I kind of did not help, but in a way I helped in the long term. That is what I feel. And friends are there for help, and then I used to kind of keep asking, keep checking with my friends all the time, like if they need any help, but not before the exam, but otherwise. So I think that is like one incident where I remember that I kind of try to help somebody, not like for the wrong reasons, but for the right reasons and for the long term solutions. Yeah, thank you. Over to you. Sorry.
Toastmaster Sanjay, can I request our president to come? Anyone wants water? Yes. So your topic is any mischievous incident or any pranks that you have done with your friends that have led you in trouble.
Have led me in trouble. Pranks. This guy needs some time to recall. Because you did so much. Yeah. Okay. So this is not something that I did, but there's something that my friends did to me. It's the other way around. During college, so I was in a government college. We used to stay in the hostel, which was inside the campus. Okay. So people who stay inside the campus knows that they have the liberty to roam the campus during nights. During second year, at the end of the first year, so a couple of my friends who were like really good friends, and even now our friendship is going strong after 10 years, they came with an idea. And the idea was to compile a list of people which would have, there are two sets matched to each other. Can anyone guess what that is? It's a first year college student. What could be the thing? It was a Langur Angur list. I am translating. So it's basically the guys who are 2 on a scale of 10 dating someone who's the 8 on a scale of 10. And what they did was Langur and Angur. Basically, Langur ke muh mein Angur. It's a saying that you get the luxurious item for a very very cheap person gets a very luxurious item. Now what they did was the next thing they compiled the list overnight. They took this in a pen drive and went 10 kilometers away to get printouts. because if they get printouts from the nearby shop, someone can snatch them out. So I took the printouts. They especially went for this. Three of my friends, Himanshu, Rishikant, and Ayush. Now they took these printouts, and what they did next was they got glue. Okay, the desi glue that they used to fix these posters of politicians and all. They mix it with water. It actually strengthens the glue. They took a brush, and for every poster they painted it on the back and stick it inside the entire college. On all the HOD notice boards, on all the water coolers, on every passageway possible where people will see it. Okay. And I was not part of this thought process, and my name was on the list. So I had a friend, and they put my name just for the fun of it. Now this was a prank that we did, and this actually this revolted the entire college. The entire college wanted to find who are these guys. Only 4 of the people knew who are these guys, the 3 of them and me. And this tradition continued for 4 years. So it's like a legacy. And even now, sometimes like they stick it, like they took on the bench and they stick it on the very top and something like that. And even after we left the college, we went after 2 years and we saw that there was one list still. So that was a prank that we did in college.
I have a question. So you make the Angur or Langur?
That's obvious.
Can I request Toastmaster Shankar? So according to you, I would like to know your thoughts. Friendship is the bedrock in any relationship.
Okay. Have you heard about the Airtel jingle? Har ek friend zaruri hota hai, which means that every friend is important. And when it comes to friendship, I found that teamwork is very, very important, especially if you're in an exam center. Now this happened in our school days when we found that we didn't know that what word teamwork means, but somehow we found out that teamwork do exist in the universe, and that's how we manage ourselves. So it happens that in the exam, as Sanjay was saying, each and every friend will say, hey, I didn't study, can you please show me? The other friend will also say that, hey, I didn't study, can you please show me? And this go on and on and on until we found that what kind of friendship relation we are. It's like friends with benefits. And then we realized, okay, there is something more value addition to that. Now, that was the time I found that cheating, which the front bencher says, has a different meaning altogether for the backbenchers. It's like universal teamwork. That's what I later came to know in the corporate, when you can find out someone's work and just copy paste it, and then you can say that, okay, this is my work. That's what I found out, that the teamwork exists. And with that, lots of learning from the Backbenchers Association, that it's very important not to lose your heart, but also to have a good number of friends, so that ultimately you can show your face at home with your parents as well. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shankar. Toastmaster Mansi, are you there?
Yes, I am in. I'll not be able to switch on camera.
So, are you ready for the topic?
Sure.
So, how do you think that, what is the difference between friendship between a female and male?
Which problem is
Female and female. I'll take that the way it is. I do not agree the topic, but I'll still take it. Okay. Female and female friendship.
Yes. Like, what is according to you? What
Soviet wants to know. He's doing research.
So, according to you, what is the difference between same gender?
There is no difference, Soviet.
Friendship.
You should go to US.
It has a different meaning.
Souvik, I was Sergeant at arms. There are some ground rules. So, yeah. So your topic says What's the difference
You
between
please continue.
female-female friendship and male and female friendship?
Yes.
That reminds me of my first girlfriend. So I was in my college days. It's my engineering first day, and I landed up in my college room, hostel room, and there she is, my first love, whom I'm going to share my room, my bathroom, everything. She is my first love. That's my first female-female friendship. So we've had mess together in the room. She was a sports person. So every time she used to come back from any sport, and then I have to somehow accommodate her. I don't like these certain ways she used to. So it's a lifestyle issues. But then she's still now one of my go-to. I don't have a brother, so she's my sister in need. She's a friend in need. I mean, she's a parent to me some days. So that's a female-female relation. I mean, as a friend. Then I have a female and a okay, when you say female and a male friendship, it's nothing to do with, for me, it's nothing to do with female and male. I've had very good male friends who've been my girlfriends too some days. So I wanted to go out for shopping and I'm not feeling good. I've had a bad day after office. Let's go out for shopping. So they are very good male friends from my college days. I do call them again and I say, so today I'm having these issues, be it any. So some days I'm just not feeling good. These are the bad days when I feel I should be feeling good about myself. So there are male friends who call me or I call them to just check whether they're happy. I mean, just for to check them on weekends. That's it. So male and female friendship is not only what the first thing which comes to us. I mean, from Friends also, it's like Friends sitcom. We have Joey and Rachel. We have love around. We have friends around. But Friends is always a friend. हर एक friend जरूरी होता है, and I'll be there for you. That's it. Over to you.
The moment you said
Honor goes on.
the moment you said that my first girlfriend in my college, I was expecting that you'll be saying my first boyfriend as well. But it's okay. We'll hear that story somewhere later.
So I get disappointed. Clear in your
Back to Toastmasters.
Thank you. So guys, I will tell you one difference on the last question that Sonik asked. That when you mentioned female-female friendship, Mansi said girlfriend, one of my first girlfriend, but guys can never say that. That my first boyfriend. That is the major difference. We will call each other brother, we will call each other dog, but we will never say boyfriend. All right. So that was really fun, and we got to see the Gunther side of Souvik. Gunther, the character from Friends. Okay. Yeah. So I hope that you will soon know that not to just go about Rachel. So anyways, now we are at the third part of the meeting, which will start the feedback. But before that, I would like to request everyone to take a 2-minute water break, because I know that water is sitting there and you are all sitting here. So please feel free to take water. Everyone online, please take a 2 minutes break to get water, and then we will resume the meeting. Maybe we can pause it. Yeah. All right. Now it's 12:24. We will resume our meeting after the short break of water break. And now moving towards the last section of this meeting, which is the feedback. I would like to invite our general evaluator, Toastmaster Sonal.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Tanmay. I walked in a little late, so I don't have the initial bit of evaluation. So I request Toastmaster Sankhya to come and give your evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonal. So the meeting was started by the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Mansi. So as a Sergeant at Arms, she has completed all the required rules of the meeting, and then the baton was passed on to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Tanmay. As presiding officer, Toastmaster Tanmay, he very nicely, as a PO, although today he took up 2 roles simultaneously, but as a PO, he gave a very little theme about hints about what the topic is going to be. That's what exactly what the PO is supposed to do. And then he also rightly pointed out the history of the Toastmasters, since we already have a few of guests who are coming for the first time. And later on, it was moved on to the guest introduction. So he ensured that each and every guest on the meeting was being rightly introduced. Then he wore the second hat as the Toastmaster of the day, and that's when Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya, for actually stepping in. He is one of the most helpful and the resourceful people in Speakers Den, because you step in for everybody. Thank you. So when I walked in, Toastmaster Tanmay was the Toastmaster of the day. Firstly, congratulations for taking up so many roles. I'm a president myself, and I can't do more than the presidential address. I can't do more than that because it's so hectic. And I don't know how you have the energy to do two demanding roles. So it is demanding. Thank you for pulling it off on a Sunday morning. Usually people are still in bed. So what I liked about the theme, before I go to the Toastmaster of the day, I'll take the individual evaluations. So our first speaker was Toastmaster Chetana, and to evaluate her speech, we have Toastmaster Swati. Could you please give us your evaluation?
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster Sonal. So giving my evaluation for Toastmaster Chetna's speech, coming to the story was really good. It had a lot of interesting moments where audience could connect, and we could relate, because it was the matrimonial side and how people could engage, right, with the partner if they are choosing. So it had a lot of audience connection. Also, there were a lot of euphoric moments, like when you said you could use your impromptu speaking skills that you have learned in the Toastmaster journey. It was really nice, and you used the name LATER. That was really good. And you have used the quotes as well, like choices and belief. You should always have your choice and belief, and one will never regret, right? So there was a nice blend of funny moments also, and the real life incidents and the quotes as well. Coming to the vocal variety, you have made a good trial, because you have at many places put an emphasis on the words, like let's say LATER or mama, please stop. I will not give more trials, right? So you have given a nice try for the vocal variety. And coming to the body language, you have used your hand gestures many a times, but I would say when I was hearing that as an audience, you could use the stage a little bit more, because like when you were giving the speech for 3 people, right? For the first one, you could have used one part of the stage and given the speech, and little bit of motion would have more engagement. So that was something which I feel you should improve on. And apart from that, it was really good, and we thoroughly enjoyed the speech, and I would like to hear more of the speeches from you. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Swati. I don't know if I'm right to evaluate Toastmaster Chetna's speech, because I mentor that speech. So mentors normally do not evaluate mentee speeches, but I will still say, Toastmaster Chetana, I think you've grown in confidence. The first few speeches that you were delivering, you were very stiff and not moving. So you have grown in confidence. You are getting more comfortable with this stage. Like Toastmaster Swati mentioned, you can use the stage more. And I felt with your right hand, you were just holding it in one position like this for most of the time. So I think that will come with confidence. So keep coming back, keep delivering speeches. You will grow in confidence, and you will think. But the other thing that stood out for me in your speech was also the humor. Because when I was mentoring it, I didn't know how many laughs it evoked. And many people were actually enjoying it and laughing. So that's a very unique thing which I also recognize today. So use it. Humor is very difficult. People are laughing at your statements, so make use of it. I wish you all the best. Thank you. Can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmasters? Next speaker was Toastmaster Srinivas Pai, and to evaluate his speech, we have Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonal. Now to evaluate Toastmaster Pai. Toastmaster Pai, I would say what a beautiful topic you come up with. Run towards your problem. That is something which is very philosophical, but when you narrate the entire story, I was like, wow, that gives a goosebump as well. Now, very brilliantly, you start off with the story that about the introduction of this topic, and followed by you say that your fear was public speaking. And when you spoke about the public speaking, then you also did why the public speaking was a fear for you. And then you explained very nicely. Now I see the story landed into first your school period when you went to the stage for the first time, and then on move on to the corporate. The things which went really well, your body movement, the stage here is a small one, but you use the stage appropriately. There was hand gestures, there were movement. You also saw the online as well as the offline. So both the audiences, you were having an eye contact, which was really good. In terms of the humor, that plays very nicely. Some of the things like about the Independence Day. So humor is something, it will always work if you give a pause and then the punch. So at certain times, like the 1957 one, that went really well. People laughed because everybody is expecting 1947, and then you move on to 1957. That went really well. Now the thing on that which you could have improved on, number one, in terms of some of the body language on the voice modulation. Now your voice modulation was okay. Now just to keep it at an advanced stage, I would say there was one sentence which said, "Wow, this was my first speech." It went on a flat tone, right? So it wasn't, "Wow, this is my first speech," or "Wow, this is my first speech." Some kind of emotion should be there. Number one. Secondly, you have a very beautiful smile throughout this, your speech, but it went against you. Okay. The reason being, when you are smiling, it should go along with the script, right? So your script says you froze when you were in the corporate journey. So that was a tensed moment when you froze after you gave the first one, but you were smiling. That emotion and script was not going hand in hand. So you could have shown a tensed moment in your body language, and so that will people will be able to coordinate or understand that, okay, this is something which one. Otherwise, it was a brilliant effort. I'll wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Just to add to what the graduate said, I think firstly, you made very judicious use of the small stage that we have. Second is, I like your voice. You have a very good public speaking voice. You are such a confident speaker. But I would disagree on the point that you maintained eye contact. I don't think you maintained steady eye contact. The key word here is steady. Because whenever I observed that you were remembering something, you were looking up. So that is something, I wanted you to look at me. So, we give you a smile. You draw a lot from the audience. So look at everybody in the audience. That they see, firstly, I'm known for my hard hitting. I'm new to you. I'm known for delivering hard hitting evaluations. So I'm a little critical always. So please don't mind. Please don't mind. And the other thing is, you wanted to say, I ran towards my problems. And they said, let me tell you what public speaking is about. I felt there was a mismatch. I felt you suddenly changed your script. So as a public speaker, I mean, of course, you can improvise, but don't go completely off track. Again, this is just for your improvement and nothing else. So can we have a huge round of applause for our speakers? Pass on the baton, we then had our table topic session. Firstly, congratulations, Souvik, for distributing the topic amongst almost everybody. Almost everybody got an opportunity to speak. And I also like the fact that you first gave the non-role takers, the minor role takers, and then people who already had a speaking opportunity. That's how a table topic session must be conducted. Almost everybody should get an opportunity. Everybody, if not everybody, almost everybody. Because somebody is investing their time and money and coming here, they must get an opportunity to talk. And what I liked about these topics were all of them related to the theme of the day. So there's substantial research. He's also doing research here, but he's done substantial research to get the topics. Actually, I felt the initial few topics I felt were researched and brought. But the final ones that he gave Mansi, I think he was so intrigued.
Impromptu.
Yeah,
improvisation.
Yeah, as an impromptu master, he was very impromptu and he wanted to know, he wanted to understand. I think you did it for your benefit. But the idea of a table of any meeting is to have fun and learn. So I think it was a very, very successful, thought-provoking, yet something. I think you took us also down memory lane because I was remembering my college days, engineering days, similar to Tanmay, and you took us down memory lane. All of us remembered our friends for a brief moment at least. So can we have a huge round of applause for are coming to the Toastmaster of the day. You know, in Garden City, I'm the president of Garden City, and then I said TMOD. They shouted at me. They said, why are you using an acronym? So it's a formal setting. Toastmasters is a formal setting, so you have to say Toastmaster of the day or the MC of the day. So we usually say the TMOD or the TMOD, which is not a very good practice. So the Toastmaster of the day, also the presiding officer, Toastmaster Tanmay. Toastmaster Tanmay is always a bundle of energy. For people who don't know him very well, he's always comes up with something new, something innovative, and a very, very hardworking person. And today also he put us all at ease. I don't know how you can do that again on a Sunday morning. He put us all at ease. And Friends is something all of us would have watched sometime in our lives. So it was relatable. You didn't pick up something very difficult or niche. Like recently I spoke about the need for emotional well-being and nobody answered me. I felt so bad because I felt no bad because it was not relatable to the audience. So taking up things like Friends, and even if people had not watched Friends, they all have a friend and people can talk about it. And I like how you stitched the whole meeting together. And especially when I wasn't there, you found somebody and you stitched the meeting together. And it is the duty. I feel he is the captain of today's ship. It is their duty to make sure everything goes smoothly. He gave us a water break because I think a few of us were getting a little restless. So that kind of mindfulness the MC should have, and Toastmaster Tanmay always has that. And kudos to you for that. And he's doing a lot of work in Toastmasters elsewhere, but that's a story for another day. Can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmasters? I'd like to take the report, the timer report from Toastmaster Rakesh.
Yeah. So good morning. Actually, most of the persons were speaking within the time. I will name the persons who who didn't reach the minimum time. That was Shankar and Balavan, and Tanmay was a little bit above that time limit. So all others were on time.
Tanmay was not within the limit for what? He's taken multiple topics. So Tanmay, human, and Shankar.
Velavan and Shankar.
Oh, human is not there. So Velavan, Shankar, and Tanmay are disqualified.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Rakesh, for your report. Can we have the counter report from Toastmaster Sanjay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let me share my screen.
Okay.
Yeah, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's visible.
Zoom it a bit. Okay. So yeah, I think like a lot of words, but like not one person used a lot of like crutch words. There were, and most of them were like within the safe limits. So I'll just call upon like a few places where I think for Chetna it was all well. We talked about we talked about pi, like pi used and a lot to kind of transition to a different sentence. So I think otherwise things were fine. And for Ashish also I think things were fine. Uh, and human I think we used like 9 times, which is little above the like allowed limit. And Venkatesh used like the 8 times, and also the end like 8 times, which I think still safe because it is kind of the right use also at times. So that was and there were two guests, and I forgot the name and because they were not online, so I couldn't name them here. So the first guest used R 16 times, and the and word 10 times. Otherwise, it was kind of pretty much in the limits. And the second guest used R 10 times. Rest of the things, and also so was used multiple times, which is 8. Dr. Pasha used our crutch word like multiple times, which is 13. But in other cases, I think it was pretty much in the limits, the safe zone. So again, like by sort of the table topic, I think R was used 5 times, but I think it is still the safe limit. Shankar used R word in the table topics each 10 times, but otherwise the rest of the things were pretty much fine. And Rakesh in the table topic used R word, that word 11 times, and the use of end word 9 times. So I think, yeah, otherwise they're pretty much, others were in the safe zone. So that is it from myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanjay. Very comprehensive report, and it looks like he was like paying keen and intent attention. So a very very good job. But I would have to give you one suggestion. See, whenever a person says and or ours or rooms, filler words, and they exceed more than 5, just say 5 plus. Don't give the exact number. Now, if you want to guess, you had 16 hours, you had 10 hours, they'll never come back. So, we have to be mindful of that because all of us are learning and all of us will always be students in our speaking journey. So, just not to deter them, even for most advanced speakers. I mean, you were still good, there was somebody in my, in some other thing that had 64 hours. So, I mean, I was highly demoralized. So, that's something you can take care of. So, not more than 5. So, say 5 plus. And if they come to you, then give them the accurate number. Okay? Thank you, Toastmaster Sanjay. Can we have a huge round of applause for you? Our grammarian report from Toastmaster Viral.
The word of the day today was euphoric. Some of the good usages were mixed feelings, peculiar, impromptu, center of attraction, variation, tinge of confidence, and diminish. I didn't know the usage of bad words. This is the first time I'm taking the grammar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Viral. Toastmasters, firstly, thank you for the report. And in Toastmasters, we have good and the not so good usages. We don't have bad. That is a strong word. And thank you for taking up the role for the very first time. I think he deserves a big round of applause. I think I've covered everybody. And this was the general evaluation. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Of the day for conducting the feedback session, and now we are at the end of the meeting. But before we go towards the conclusion, I see that there are 2 more guests in the meeting. So may I request Jafar Pasha to please turn on the camera and introduce yourself to the group. You have 30 seconds to answer 3 questions about yourself and how did you get to know about this meeting, and what is your objective from Toastmasters?
Yeah, hi. My name is Jafar Pasha. I got to know about this meeting from Sankhi. I usually join the table topic master, Manya, TT Manya, every Saturday. So there is where I got connected to Sankhya, and that's how I was here. That's about it.
That's good to know. And Jafar, where are you from?
And
there's some challenges in the audio. We will circle back to you. Next, it's our network. All right. Can everyone on the Zoom room hear us? Are we audible and visible? Can someone please confirm?
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right, Jafar. Good to know that you are from Bangalore. We will look forward to seeing you in the offline venue as well. Our next guest, Shankar. Shankar, if possible, can you please come on the camera? And if not, that's okay. You can have to answer 3 questions. Something like about yourself. How do you get to know about Toastmasters and where are you from?
Hi, Toastmaster. It's not possible for me to switch on the camera because I'm facing some network issues.
Sure, no worries.
Yeah, my name is Shankar. I'm from Bangalore. I came to know this Toastmaster through a website, and I called the number. There was a number. Called the number, and I got to know those. Call was picked by Sankhya, and he helped me a lot. The first time itself, he gave me a good introduction, and he led in such a way that it created curiosity curiosity to join in this Toastmaster, and that's how I came to know about this Toastmaster. And it is really helping me a lot and building a confidence by seeing those people who are in this Toastmaster. Over to you.
Thank you, Shankar. A big round of applause for Jafar and Shankar. Now we are towards the end of the meeting, and if anything, if I have to say one word for the today's meeting, it was euphoric, because that's how I would be remembering this meeting. And there are a lot of learnings for us. For example, we know not to give Sovic the topics, just give the research. We also know that coming to an offline venue is a big task in itself, and we must plan it accordingly, because time management is a critical aspect of leadership. And Toastmaster tagline itself says where leaders are made. So all these things is something that propels us forward towards facing our problem, towards making the best out of everything. And we would be here again on our next meeting, or maybe next to next, if not next. But we will always try to make sure that the meetings are conducted smoothly. If not hybrid, then online, so that everyone has the opportunity to join. And for people who are joining in online and are from Bangalore, I request you to come to the offline venue once, because this is an experience in itself. As you can see on the faces, which you cannot, sorry, the camera is limited, but I can see that people are excited and there are laughter rides going on around. There were laughter rides, especially when Sovic had TTM. So yes, with this, I would like to conclude today's meeting, meeting number 302, and we would meet you again. I'll use my phone. Can we stop the recording and we open the meeting for informal discussion? This concludes the meeting.